If is in a movie, I don't care who else is in the project, I'm not gonna watch it.
He slapped me as hard as he could.
Who?
Dustin.
People don't want to deal with you just because
They use condoms.
Do not.
I was blackballed for 2 years. I couldn't get a job.
So today we're gonna be talking about the dark side of Hollywood, the reality, the behind the scenes. Hollywood isn't just a bunch of light shining on you, people taking pictures of you and wanting your autograph. There's also a reality of a darker side of Hollywood. Again, nobody talks about it. This is not what you typically see. So I wanted to make a video about this because we can't just see one side. We need to see both sides of the coin. So without further ado, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna watch some clips. We're gonna talk about it because that's the best way to show this other side of Hollywood.
They use condoms.
Do not.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Step back, friend. You can't just say use condoms and we're just gonna like forget.
I know it's a family show, but we can.
Don't worry.
We can educate people here. At least they were used.
Who did you send used condoms to?
Oh, everybody. Maybe they didn't want to tell you, but no, I mean, I did a lot of things to create a dynamic, to create an element of surprise, of spontaneity.
That's surprise.
And to really break down any kind of walls that may be there. I mean, the Joker is somebody who doesn't really respect things like personal space or boundaries.
So this is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. And I'll give you a little bit of context to this. So Jared Leto, he was playing the Joker. He was going method acting with the stereotypical version of the modern view of that being you're living out your character every single day and you're doing things to get into your character and you're not letting go. So what he did is he went and he sent used condoms to his fellow castmates and with various other items as well. This is just one of them. If you looked at my other video talking about method acting, you see some of the other things that he sent. This is a horrible thing to do as an actor, and it's a horrible thing to do in any profession. I don't understand why, as a public, we just accept this and say, oh, okay, it's acting, so this is okay to do. It's not. We can't imagine if we were working at a restaurant and then the manager of the restaurant's going around and giving his waitresses and waiters used condoms. It would never happen. We could never do it in any other business setting. We could never do it in a school setting. If Harvey Weinstein was going and sending used condoms to his other actors and actresses that he was hiring for his parts, we would be going and saying, what a monster that is, who would do that? But then when Jared Leto goes and does it, we all say, oh, he's an actor, it's part of the process. No. It's not. We've been fed this and we hear this all the time, so we accept that it's normal as a general public, but when you really step back and you ask yourself, hey, could you do this type of action in any other profession? It wouldn't be okay. But we accept it for this, and personally, I don't think that's cool to do. The next clip that we're gonna watch is gonna be with Meryl Streep. She's gonna be talking about Dustin Hoffman and something that happened on set between her and him.
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin shocked me. Because almost in one of the very first scenes, it's when I'm leaving. We were shooting the scene and I was properly upset, I thought, and I was getting my stuff together and walked out in the hallway and he looked at me and he slapped me as hard as he could.
Who?
Dustin.
What the?
Yeah. And when I see the movie, I see the imprint of his hand on the thing, not in the take that they used, but I still see the hand from the previous take. I was so kind of shocked, but it set me up for the right feeling for him about the film.
Anything. Did he do that on purpose?
He did it off screen.
So can somebody tell me when it became okay to go and assault women? Dustin Hoffman going and slapping Meryl Streep across the face, no matter who you go and slap, whether it be a man or a woman, it's not right to do. It's not right to go and just assault somebody for no apparent reason, especially if you're just trying to get into character or get your partner more into character. This again is something that we would never do in any other profession. If you're a teacher, you're not going to go and slap your student in order to have them do better on the test or to focus more. That's not what we do as a general public in any situation, in any other career and area of life. But then when it comes to this process, being in the work, being an actor, we just let a lot of things slide. And this is something, again, this is a personal thing, but I'm tired of seeing it and I don't want to see any more of this come in the future. But this is something that's happened many times before. We can't pull up every single clip in history where everybody's talking about this because there's also a lot of people who don't talk about this. These type of things happen, but they don't want to come out and they don't want to speak and they don't want to say anything because, oh, they're worried about losing their job or they're worried about any other bad backlash happening. where it's wrong. You shouldn't be assaulted on set in order to try and get into your character, and you shouldn't be sent used condoms so you yourself can try and go and get into character. So now we're gonna go and watch one more clip, and this clip is gonna be talking about the most difficult actors to work with and why. So let's go ahead and watch that.
The 4 most difficult actors to work with. Number 4, Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant has admitted to having a temper on set, recounting an incident during the filming of Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves, where he yelled at a woman who turned out to be a chaperone. His tantrums are infamous, with even former Daily Show host Jon Stewart labeling him as one of the worst guests due to his backstage outbursts. Number 3, Christian Bale. Christian Bale is known for his intense perfectionism, which sometimes leads to explosive behavior. He famously ranted at a crew member on the set of Terminator Salvation for disrupting his focus, showcasing his demanding and fiery nature.
Now here's another thing. They let actors go and have temper tantrums. They may be on one movie, you hear about the temper tantrum, they're yelling at somebody, but they're still hiring them for another movie. But again, we couldn't do this in any other profession, but we allow it here. If we heard that there was a principal who constantly would go and overreact and yell at the students and yell at the teachers, we would never want that person to be hired at another school. And parents and students would protest for that principal to not be there. But now, when it comes to actors, all of a sudden, we're saying, hey, it's okay, don't worry about it. So these are some clips that I wanted you to see, and I have more to show you, but I want to show you the other side. So these are the things that celebrities do that we say, it's okay, you do this, it's not affecting your career, we're letting you go and be on another big movie, a huge project, making tons of millions of dollars again and again and again. Now let's go and take a look at actors who got shunned from Hollywood, and let's see exactly why they got shunned away.
Many of you have probably heard about I was fired from a TV show because I wouldn't do a kissing sex scene. They said they needed me to do it for the ratings, but the show, we were on the first episode of the show, and it wasn't going to be on the air for another several months. I was like, what do you mean? And I told them up front, this is something I'm not comfortable doing, and I just don't want to do it. It was in my contract for Desperate Housewives and other shows. In fact, Mark Cherry says, I want you to be on Desperate Housewives this year. I'm like, great, because I want you to be Nicolette Sheridan's husband. I'm like, great. You're going to kill her by the end of the year. Great, fun. Pretty funny. And I said, okay, I'll do it, but there's one thing that I won't do. I won't kiss or I won't do sex scenes. He goes, you know this is Desperate Housewives. I said, I know. And he looked at me and he said, I guess I'm just going to have to write smarter. And he did. I did a show called Boomtown where I was this sexual deviant, and I told him the same thing. I told Steven Spielberg, it's not what I want to do. It's great. We'll write smarter and shoot it better. I had people coming up to me on the streets, you are such a pig on that show. But I was the only one on that show who never kissed another woman. I won't kiss another woman because, as a villain, I may kill 10 guys in a scene. And when we're filming the scene, it's actually kind of funny because it's so absurd. But at the end of the scene, we're like, hey, have a great night, see you later, let's go have a great time. I didn't actually kill anybody. But if I'm in bed with another woman and I kiss another woman, guess what I'm actually doing? I'm kissing another woman. I don't want my kids to see that. I don't want my family to see that. I really don't want God to see that. But they didn't go for that on this show. They said, you have to do it or we're going to fire you. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do it. So they fired me. I was blackballed for 2 years. I couldn't get a job. And because of that, I lost my big, beautiful house in Los Angeles, my shiny Mercedes, all my stuff, and my swagger. And as you can imagine at the time, I was really crushed. They thought that I was some religious zealot, but to me, it was just that I didn't think it was the right thing to do. And also, I really love my wife. And as I've said, and I'll say it a million times, these lips are meant for one woman.
So this man here gets blacklisted from Hollywood simply because he doesn't feel comfortable going and kissing another woman because he's married and he has kids. This is something that is a reasonable thing to be uncomfortable about. If you're in a very committed relationship and you're with somebody who you care about and love and you're not comfortable going and doing that act, that's something that's legitimate for somebody to say, hey, you know what, this is something that I'm not comfortable with. Just like, for example, if they said, hey, we want you to go and be in this movie, but we want you to go and strip down and be naked. Well, what if you're not comfortable with that? What if that's not something you want to do? What if that's not something you want to go and be on the big screen for millions of people to see around the world? If that's not something you're comfortable with, you should be allowed to go and say, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable with this. And then they should be able to go and work the writing around it. Or maybe they get a body double in, but there's workarounds. You don't just go and say, hey, you're fired, and also you're going to be blacklisted. That's not the right thing to do. Yet in this situation, it happened. Okay, so let's go ahead and take another look at this clip over here with Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin, have you had any problems being as religious as you are in a place like Hollywood, which is considered sort of apart from that?
Oh, it's interesting. You know, say you're Christian apparently is a bad thing in Hollywood nowadays. It has gotten worse. There's a weird lack of tolerance. I mean, it doesn't matter what side of the political fence you're on. I'm a true independent in Hollywood, and that's even a problem for Hollywood. I mean, I voted for Clinton, I voted for Reagan. I'm one of those guys that actually looks at the candidates that are running, and in my gut, in my heart, in my brain, I looked at who's the best person to run for this. And there are kickbacks on that. You get blacklisted on certain things, and people don't want to deal with you just because.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't understand why you can't just have an open conversation about it.
Okay, so let me get this straight, and let's see if we're all on the same page understanding this. So you can go and send used condoms to your fellow castmates. You can go and assault a woman. And you can also go and be a hard person to work with on set, yelling at anybody you want to yell at because you're having a temper tantrum. That's okay. You can do that in Hollywood and still have a big career that stretches on for a long time and you make tons of money. But if you say, hey, you're not comfortable with being in a certain situation, like if you're married and you have kids and kissing another woman, or if you're religious, then you go and you get blacklisted. Doesn't that kind of seem like it doesn't make sense? Again, if we go and look at any other job, it doesn't apply. But for some reason in Hollywood, they go and say, well, you know, you have this certain belief, this religious belief, and then they can go and say, you know what, we're going to blacklist you for this. Who cares what anybody believes in, whether they're a Christian, whether they're a Buddhist, whether they're a Muslim, whatever it is that they go and believe in, let them go and believe it because it's not going and hurting anybody. They're not taking an action. They're not slapping Meryl Streep across the face to get her in the character. What we should be saying to ourselves right now is this is wrong. That's all it is. At the end of the day, in simple terms, this is wrong. We don't have to complicate it. We don't have to think so deeply about it. We just know there's rights and there's wrongs. And if we compare this to see who got blacklisted and then who didn't, it doesn't make any sense. Now, what can we go and do about this? You're probably thinking, well, it doesn't matter. The movie studios have so much money. If they want to keep hiring these actors, they're going to keep hiring them because they have the money to do it. Well, here's the truth about it. They only have the money to do this because we go and buy the ticket. That is the only reason that they keep continuing to hire these actors. I see a lot of people saying, oh, I don't support this actor. I'm not going to support them. I don't like them, blah, 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 blah. I see a lot of people talking. I see people saying it. But actions speak louder than words because you can say you're loyal as much as you want and still cheat on your girlfriend tomorrow. Actions speak louder than your words. It doesn't matter what you say. It matters what you do and how you act. If you say, you know what, I don't approve of what Jared Leto did. We shouldn't keep allowing him to go and do movie after movie after movie when this is how he's going to be treating people because you know what, he already screwed up. So I don't believe that he should go and be in the next movie. But if you go and buy a movie ticket, you're allowing him to go and keep doing those movies and any other actor who's gone and done some crazy thing when we go and support it by buying that movie ticket. It's kind of like this. We're bringing politics into this for 2 seconds. Let's say you don't agree with this party over here, but you agree with this one here. But say this party that you don't agree with, you donate and you fund money to this party. We'd be like, whoa, 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 you don't agree with the views here, so why are you donating money to the campaign? Why are you paying money to it? Well, it's the same with the actors. If you don't support these actors, but you're paying money for the projects that they're in, well, they're getting a cut of that. That's how they're in the movie because they can afford to pay those actors because people are going and buying those tickets. For example, when it comes to Amber Heard, if you guys saw the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp court case, I am never going from my own personal beliefs and my opinions based off of how she was in Hollywood. I don't believe that it's appropriate for me to go and watch any of her movies anymore based off of the actions that she took and the person that she is. So I am not going to be a supporter of it. I'm not just saying, hey, with words, oh, I don't approve of the type of things that she did to Johnny Depp and how she behaved. I'm saying with my actions. If Amber Heard is in a movie, I don't care who else is in the project, I'm not going to watch it because they put Amber Heard in it and I don't want to support that type of behavior in Hollywood. The only way that we can stop this negative type of behavior happening in Hollywood is if we, the audience, who are funding all of these movies because we're buying the tickets, we're buying the subscription services, the only way that we can stop it is by saying, you know what, I'm not gonna go and put my money into that. I'm gonna put my money over here where I actually agree with how these individuals behave. Because we're giving these people who do these terrible things, which we can admit are wrong, we're giving them all this money, all this power, all this fame, all this influence to the next generation. Think about actors who are just coming up, watching this type of content, saying, oh, wow, okay, this is what Dustin Hoffman did. Oh, okay, this is what Jared Leto did. Oh, okay, this is what so-and-so did. There's no backlash behind it, so it must be okay. No, we have to decide and we have to say what is okay. We need to have strict boundaries for ourselves and we need to be vocal about it. We need to say, this is okay, this is not okay, and we need to have a clear, defined line, and we need to take more action than just words. So I hope you all like this video. This is a little bit of a different video than we've ever done before. But this is an important topic. This is something that nobody ever talks about. It's the other side of the coin. This doesn't mean that Hollywood is completely bad and completely terrible. No, there's a lot of great things. There's a lot of great people in Hollywood who have done a lot of amazing things with their fame and their money to actually go and help other people in the world. But then there's the other side of the coin. And that's the side of the coin that nobody sees. We just try to keep it on one side. But that's false. That's a false reality that we're living in. And then anytime the coin starts to get flipped over, we go, oh, no, just ignore that side. Just focus on the top part. No, we can't keep doing that. We have to go flip the coin over and clean it up. So I hope you all like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you stay up to date with everything. Give this video a thumbs up. We're doing 2 videos a week now, so subscribe so you can be up to date on everything. And then if you're interested in just being able to improve your acting, your craft, the craft of your acting, then we do have a 10-hour acting masterclass or 2.0 version down in the description down below and also in the comment section if you're interested in that. And then if you enjoyed this video, you liked it, you got some helpful info from it, then you're also gonna like this video right over here. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later.